Jack, picked up some silverware there on that road trip. How's that feel?
Amazing. I mean, to bring the first trophy back to Hartford, I'm grateful to be a part of it, and it means a lot to this team and hopefully to the fans as well.
Either side of that in the league games, some great individual contributions from you, 2 assists in Oakland. You've talked before, you obviously struggle for fitness, to get fit, to stay fit. How does it feel to be not only out there but making those kinds of contributions to the team?
It feels really good. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to you guys and I said that's kind of what I wanted to do, so I'm happy to be doing that. And you know, we got a trophy, but we have a lot of the season left, some important games coming up, so I'm hoping to continue to be able to contribute.
Sacramento comes right back here after you beat them in the final. Not often, not ideal to have that kind of immediate rematch, but how do you prepare for that, knowing you've seen them just recently?
Yeah, I mean, we're treating it like a playoff game. They're a very good team, so it's the same as, you know, plenty of other tournaments in the world. Have you play teams back to back, and you just have to deal with it. It almost helps. We know what works and some things we want to fix, so hopefully we come out tomorrow ready to go.
You talk about some things you want to fix when you think about how the final went. Obviously, you got the result, so what is there to fix?
I mean, you can always play better. We could score more goals. I mean, you know, I think that's nothing. I think we played great in the final. But just any team that's winning, you can't get complacent. You want to continue to push. We want to win more games by more, and then hopefully when we're in the playoffs, we're as best as we can possibly be.
All right, Antony, got a trophy. How's that feel?
Feels good, man. All the hard work that you put in, that's what you play for the trophy, so it feels good.
Lately, you've been kind of in and out of the lineup. I know you had some fitness issues. How does it feel to get on the pitch for that game, play that game, keep the clean sheet?
It felt good. It felt good. That's why I took that game off for the Colorado, so I could be 100% ready for the championship game. But it felt really good. Like the team executed, so it was great.
You've got 13 clean sheets in all competitions now. Obviously, those are all team efforts. It's not just you. But as a keeper, how does it feel to look up there and know, you know, you're making that contribution to the team?
It feels good that, like you said, I'm contributing to the team. But like you said, it's a team thing, so we're all happy about that. So.
All right, and then Sacramento, they're coming right back here on Saturday. You guys are looking for a playoff spot, looking for that seeding, you know, a home playoff game. How do you feel about them coming back right away like that?
You know, we beat them at their field. It's even more motivation at our field with our fans and everything. So I think we're going to come out even stronger.
And you're playing for that home field advantage, maybe in at least one playoff game. How important is that as a team to kind of nail that down?
Very important, especially for the fans. You know, they've been waiting for something like that for a long time. So it feels good to give that to them.
All right, Brendan. Good road trip, huh?
Yeah, they don't get better than that. 9 points and a trophy. Yeah, just so proud of these guys. Even when we didn't play well at times in Colorado and certainly in Oakland in that first half, they just kept digging, kept covering ground, fighting, trying to stay in the game. And eventually the quality took over. You know, Jack provided that in Colorado and he provided it again in Oakland with Kyle.
Let's talk about the Cup. First silverware, first trophy in club history. You've obviously been there before with Houston, but what's that feel like?
It's hard to describe. Just it's all the hard work that people don't see that these guys put in year round, all coming together. So it's really hard to describe, honestly. Just the next level happiness for a couple days.
Earlier in the season, you talked about the Cup, you know, a quick route to silverware for any team that's in it. And at that point in the season, the league wasn't going real well for Hartford.
Yeah.
So how important was it to get off to the right foot in that competition, the wins over Portland, Westchester, to build something there?
Yeah, I think that momentum is irreplaceable, and it's now spilled over into the league in a big way. You know, and we have a road identity, which is not always the case for, you know, even for playoff teams. Usually you take care of business at home and get what you can get on the road, but we're actually really good on the road, which gives you more confidence going into the playoffs.
Yeah, 13 games unbeaten on the road. I think 6 wins in the league in a row, which is, I think, the second longest streak in the history of the USL Championship. We've talked a few times about where that's come from, but how do you get that good away from home?
Just commitment to each other. You know, we showed video from the final today, and we're just talking about ground coverage and, you know, making recovery runs, it's really simple stuff, but it's physically hard to do, and to concentrate at the level that the guys have been concentrating. but it's not rocket science. It's just really hard work on behalf of the players, so they deserve the medal they got to wear around their necks.
You talked about some of in Colorado and in Oakland, not always great performance. The first half in Oakland in particular, kind of rough. How do you turn that around? Talking to the team at halftime, making those changes to go from being outshot like 8-0 or something to turning that game around, winning 3-1.
Yeah, you can do personnel things, so you can make a change here or there, which we did in all those games, to be fair. But that's because we trust our whole locker room, and we trust the guys that are going out in the first half to keep us in the game long enough for other guys to come and win the game. And that belief is very real right now in our locker room. That's the word I would keep coming back to: intent and belief.
You talked about trusting all of those guys. Long way from earlier in the season where maybe you had 14 guys to select. Now you've used 20, 21 guys.
Yeah.
What's that feel like as a manager? And who have you seen maybe develop the most to contribute to that group who wasn't there earlier in the season?
Yeah, I would say all the young guys. We're asking more of all the young guys. Jack's made a ton of contributions to us winning this year when he's been healthy. Addie's put in so many good shifts, hard yards, but it takes time for younger players to adapt to a new system. Certainly I'm asking them to play in a different way than they probably have in the past with other teams. And then our core veterans are just really good leaders. When we need Diz to show up and take over a game, when we need Joe to be loud in the locker room, some of that stuff at halftime comes from them. We can challenge them and tell them what we're seeing and what's missing, but ultimately they're putting in the hard yards.
Now Sacramento comes back to town. It's not often you get that kind of cup final and immediately have to play them
Not
again.
ideal.
It's not really revenge for them. You've got the silverware, but they're probably looking for a little bit of payback. How do you prepare for a game like that when you?
Well, you have to expect it. Number one, you have to expect that the energy level is going to be raised and temperatures will be raised on both sides. But it was a really well-played, clean match, so I don't think there's any bad intent on either side of it. But it's definitely going to have more energy in it than a regular season game normally would.
For you guys, just need one more point, I think, to clinch a playoff spot, or Indy or Rhode Island to drop points, obviously. How does that impact, a little bit of maybe the hangover from winning the championship, knowing that you still need a little bit of something there?
Yeah, to do what we did on Tuesday in Oakland shows me that we're already past that. We want to control our own fate, and that would require getting a home playoff game because, then you can actually get the whole building behind you and feed off that energy. Typically teams that go deep in these playoffs are at home for at least one game. So our focus isn't on qualifying for the playoffs anymore. It's being in the top 4 position.
You're obviously in the driver's seat there. You have the edge on North Carolina, the edge on Loudoun there, edge on Pittsburgh. How do you were kind of in a similar situation in it last season. You can kind of control your own playoff destiny heading into those last 3 games, and the results didn't quite come. Here, you control your own destiny for that home playoff seed, that 3rd or 4th seed. How do you kind of take the lessons from last year where that didn't quite work out and apply them here to get those results?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying, but I think we're in 2 very different situations and mindsets, whereas now we're in a position where we control what place we take in the playoffs, not will we make the playoffs. So we've taken a massive step forward there, but we need to finish the job. We can't leave it to Louisville and then be looking at other results and things like that. That is nowhere in our minds.